the country's top pandemic expert, urging Americans to get vaccinated or boosted quickly. Dr. Anthony Fauci says that a new highly contagious variant of the coronavirus could take over as the dominant strain here in the U.S. by mid-January. So with all of that, let's get to the Fox Medical team's Beth Galvin, who joins us now live here in studio with the latest. And Beth, officials really are pushing this booster vaccination for Americans.
Yes, and somewhat successfully, Tom. Only about 30% of fully vaccinated Americans have received a booster shot as of this weekend. And Dr. Anthony Fauci says that extra shot is really important because 2 shots may not be enough to protect you from this new variant. With millions of Americans traveling and gathering and cases of the highly contagious Omicron variant doubling every 2 days, the country's top infectious disease expert says the U.S. could be in for its roughest pandemic winter yet, with cases of the new Omicron variant surging on top of the already rapidly spreading Delta variant.
If you look at the pattern of the increase in cases over the last few weeks, it's been disturbing. You know, we've been gone from where we were about 50 to 60,000 cases a day. We're up to about 120,000 cases a day.
And Dr. Anthony Fauci predicts the Omicron variant could overtake the Delta variant in the U.S. within the next 3 weeks or so.
We can expect that we will get a considerable surge. That's the reason why we're out there almost pleading with people to get vaccinated. If not, you're fully vaccinated, then get boosted with your vaccination.
Dr. Fauci says boosters are critical because the 2-shot Pfizer and Moderna vaccines and the 1-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine likely will not offer enough protection to stop an Omicron infection. But he says early data shows that a booster dose can significantly raise protective antibody levels against this variant.
There will be, and we need to expect that there will be breakthrough infections. There's no doubt about that. We're dealing with highly transmissible viruses.
Still, Dr. Fauci says those who are fully vaccinated and boosted are less likely to become severely ill if they do have a breakthrough infection. And he's concerned that much of the country, including about 40% of Georgians, have no vaccine protection.
We have about 50 to 60 million people in this country who are not vaccinated at all, who are eligible to be vaccinated, but who are not vaccinated. Even if a fraction of those people wind up in the hospital, you have a lot of people in the hospital.
Getting vaccinated or boosted and wearing masks in public around people who may not be vaccinated are your best protection right now, Dr. Fauci says. And historically, he says pandemics have fizzled out within a year or a year and a half. But this one seems to be picking up steam again.
This is very unusual. We have had 4 at least major surges within a 2-year period. It wasn't even that way in the 1918 influenza pandemic. So we are in a somewhat unique situation with the persistence of the pandemic phase of the outbreak.
That said, Dr. Fauci says if you're fully vaccinated and boosted, you can travel safely right now. He says if you're flying, make sure you're consistently wearing a mask, and you want to be really careful about taking off that mask when you're in the airport terminal and a crowded situation, because he says the Delta variant and the new Omicron variant are both highly contagious.
Boy, this virus is so mysterious and so serious in so many ways. All right, Beth, thanks.